Hello everybody, my name's Cam from Etani. This is the first chapter of the Etani mini-series that we're going to do. So we're going to really hit home on operational reporting. So we're going to really hit home with operational reporting by industry. I want to look at different industries in this mini-series, and I'm really trying to stress the importance of how valuable operational reporting can be. So today we're going to have a look at the medical area. So in particular, we're going to have a look at GPs as an example. So a bit of background on the industry. Doctors generally make more money from speed. So the faster they get patients in and out of the door, the more money they make. So that's why you'll see like average patients per day as a key metric that they like to look at. So as a rule of thumb, you'll see like 40 to 45 patients per day is like really excellent, and then 30 is good, less than 20 is slow. So Medicare is trying to balance this with what they charge different rates depending on how long you consult. So if you do a long consultation, which is basically greater than 20 minutes, they would classify that as a long consultation, and they'll pay the doctor more. So then okay is like 6 to 20 minutes, less than 6 is what's called a fast consult, where Medicare don't pay you as big a fee. So you might hear in the industry like the magic number is around about 8 minutes, where they try and get patients in and out within 8 minutes. So I want to talk to you about this dashboard that you can see on the screen here. So if I just move my head to the side and have a look at this, just in the bottom right hand corner for you to start with, looking at percentage paying on cost. So this is when medical practices are still run by themselves, so they haven't been taken out by a corporate, which is quite popular. So when you're running a medical practice by yourself with a group of doctors, percentage of paying on costs is really important, because the on costs are essentially your gross margin on your medical fees. So if we select, like for example, this one big fish here, this is a bit of a spoof using fish, but essentially that is the smart doctor. Now he's running, when I select him, he's running at 49.5% on costs, like of his medical fees. 49% of that is fees and costs associated with him running his practice. So that's huge. So that would be something that the medical practice, and in particular the doctor, because that's their gross margin, he would want to be knowing that he's going, and then looking at his, like, you know, I mean, this is only looking at October, for example, but being aware of that is really important. So for the firms that are actually run by a corporate, that's a different situation, because they don't actually handle. So what would generally happen with this is that a corporate would come to them and say, look, I want to buy your medical fees off you, essentially, where they would say, look, we'll give you 500 grand and we're going to give you 50% of your medical fees going forward for the next 5 years, and it's up to that corporate to run the business well, where they can make the margin back over the 5 years and make money from you. And so the medical GP will like it, because they get that upfront cash, and then also they don't have to concentrate on running the business and keeping that on cost down. But as I said, that's a different example. This one example is when they do have on cost, this example where they actually haven't been taken out by a corporate. So I just want to point out a few other things that you can get from this type of reporting. So if we have a look at the top left here and have a look at the practitioners, so here's all your doctors, and what we can pick up is patients seen and then the days that they've worked, and so you can pick up that average patient. So as you can see, like Hawkeye, he's doing a huge amount. I mean, as I said, 40 to 45. This is just demo data, by the way, but 67 patients a day is just outrageous. I mean, that's a lot of patients. But what you can also identify here is that his actual fees per patient is significantly lower than the other doctors, and that's because he's seeing a lot of Medicare bulk billing, and he's getting them in and out in that less than 6 minute interval. So these are some of the things that you can do. And so what makes a good metric? We've already discussed this previously. What makes a good metric is comparative. So that's what you can do down here below as well, is you do look, what is your growth versus last month? So who's actually growing really fast? So Hawkeye, once again, he's growing, his fee base is growing in comparison to last month, and then you have to actually look at the average medical fee per patient. So you can have a look at different ways of looking at this growth. You know, you could actually put these on costs in this as well, to look at how their on costs are changing over time. We're looking at it monthly here. Some medical practices like to look at it fortnightly. Quarterly is sometimes more appropriate. Annually might be too long. You know, it's all a balancing act depending on how you want to look at this. But hopefully that gives you a little taste of some of these dynamic dashboards that you can actually create for your clients. And this is operational data, so it's so much more rich rather than just invoices raised out of an accounting software. So how do you automate these reports, which is the next question. What we are doing here is we're actually data dumping CSVs out of the medical software. Medical software is behind the 8 ball at the moment in the cloud movement. The software vendors themselves are quite slow, but also the actual medical GPs, they're quite slow to adapt to the cloud. They're not sure about it. And so we live in the world of data dumping now, which isn't the end of the world. I'll show you how that works. But I mean, there are some medical practice. There are some cloud movement going on right now, but it's not very big. I mean, I think less than 5% would be where medical software is being used in the cloud. So in essence, here's how it works, is that you literally just set up a SharePoint file for your client, and you have, this is how it comes out of one software on the market, one of the medical softwares, where it's a breakdown of institutional, Medicare and private. So essentially, if we go into the private data, here's these CSVs for the months or however, you literally just export it as CSV, drag it into the SharePoint file, and then you hit refresh on the report and it's live and dynamic once again. So it's not the end of the world, data dumping, but it is like a manual task that you have to do. But to me, if I go back to the actual report, the end report, having the opportunity for the doctor to be able to open this up and see this at any time and change the dates and drill into, for example, the smaller fish and find out, like, okay, so that's Sandra Bullock and she's got higher fees, and looking at these different items and comparatives, it's really powerful and rich for the doctor to try and improve their operations. So I hope you enjoyed it. This is the first part of our mini-series. We're going to move into a different industry, but I'm just going to try and give you a taste of some of the different operational industries that you can report on. So if you want to learn more about this, give us a call. My name's Cam from Etani, and look forward to hearing from me.